The station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
We found a bullet on our property recently, and I'm starting to hear gunfire more and more.
Tonight on DC News Now at 10, a string of shootings putting one DC neighborhood on edge. Neighbors in Ward 6 say a recent metro station rampage was the last straw. Now they're coming together to find solutions.
Plus, police in Prince George's County claim carjackers are getting more bold. Tonight, we go to one shop that was recently targeted as workers show us the devastating effects of this troubling trend.
Also, a possible historic blow for the district. The U.S. House voting to overturn D.C.'s criminal code. We're live with details on the decision by some Democrats to shoot it down.
And weather-wise, did you enjoy the 70s in a few spots across the DMV this afternoon? You have one more day in the 60s before we track our next storm system. I'll have the details coming up.
All right, good evening. Thanks for joining us for DC News Now at 10 o'clock on DCW 50. I'm Chris Flanagan.
And I'm Tasmeen Mahfouz. And the U.S. House voted today to overturn D.C.'s criminal code. That's the one that council recently revised for the first time since 1901.
Our Daniel Hamburg joining us live tonight in the newsroom. And Daniel, this was a bipartisan vote.
Chris and Tasmeen, a vote to overturn a D.C. law that has passed hasn't happened since 2015. And before that, it wasn't until the 80s that happened. But tonight, this afternoon, 31 Democrats decided to vote to shoot the bill down.
The joint resolution is passed.
The Republican-controlled U.S. House, along with 31 Democrats, decided D.C.'s revised criminal code isn't up to code with them.
Clearly, crime after crime is on the rise here in D.C., yet the D.C. Council's bill will only make matters worse.
The updated policy would, among other things, reduce penalties for things like carjackings and burglaries, but
are still subject to very, very significant penalties under the RCCA. And as I said, again, significantly longer than even the longest sentences that are currently being imposed.
We had a member assaulted in our apartment today in Washington, D.C. We've had Hill staffers who have been injured because of crime.
Former ANC Commissioner Denise Krepp has been a vocal opponent whose name was mentioned on the House floor.
Denise Krepp?
I want to say thank you to the 250 members of Congress who said, you know what? We shouldn't be tolerating this. We should not be allowing murderers and rapists to get out of prison early.
But Jinwoo Park, the executive director of the Criminal Code Reform Commission, says most people agree on 95% of the bill.
The RCCA actually increases penalties in a number of significant ways for things like attempted murder, attempted sexual assault, for certain kinds of non-consensual sexual activities, for possession of certain dangerous weapons.
The revised criminal code was passed by council in November. The mayor vetoed the bill earlier this year, but the council voted to override that veto 12-1.
This has been the product of more than a decade of work, of really, really meticulous work in direct consultation with both public defenders and prosecutors.
Now, the next step, the resolution has to pass through the democratically controlled U.S. Senate and then head to the president's desk before this can be officially overturned. Live in the newsroom, Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
Well, Daniel, thank you. Meanwhile, the debate on the House floor before the vote on the criminal code got pretty heated. Several lawmakers, including D.C. Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton and Maryland Congressman Jamie Raskin, accused critics of having double standards for the district and their home states.
On a whole range of offenses under the newly revised D.C. Act that they want to overthrow now, the criminal law is tougher in Washington, D.C. than it is in the distinguished chairman's home state of Kentucky. They're not really interested in scrutinizing the actual criminal justice policy. They just want to kick the people of Washington, D.C. around.
Congressman Raskin also said today's debate and resolutions highlight the need for D.C.'s statehood.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Weather-wise, today was a pretty fantastic day across the district. We saw many spots in the 70s. Look at Northern Virginia. Culpeper into Fredericksburg, 72 to 73 degrees. Official high here in the metro area, 65, so nearly 30 to 35 degrees above average for this time of year. So our cold front, it is making its way through our area currently. All this teal that you are seeing, those are high wind advisories that are in place across the Ohio Valley Valley into PA as well. We do have a few of our counties just west of I-81. They have now spread out compared to yesterday evening in the Shenandoah Valley as well. Potentially 30 to 35 mile per hour wind gusts is the #1 issue, and that will expire around 7 a.m. Let's look forward to the weekend here, what to expect as we go into your Super Bowl Sunday. We are still watching that coastal low. Right now, it looks like a good burst of rain throughout the day. Our temperature is going to be hovering in the middle 40s, so make sure you are bundling up a good layer of clothing because it's definitely going to be very cool. Valentine's Day, I do want to get you prepared for that as well. Looking ahead, we're actually going to see a warm up at Tuesday afternoon, but for your dinner plans, it will be on the chilly side, kind of typical for this time of year in the upper 30s. Guys.
All right, Janessa, thanks. And developing tonight, neighbors in Southeast D.C., they're on edge days after a shooting killed one person, injured 3 others at the Potomac Avenue Metro Station.
And tonight, members of the community met to talk about what happened and also demand solutions to make the stop safer. Our Mariel Carbone is live at the Potomac Avenue Metro stop tonight. And Mariel, neighbors were concerned about that station even before last week's shooting.
Yeah, Tasmin, I'm told that over the last 90 days, there have been at least 3 shootings in the area of this station, and that does not include that quadruple shooting from last week. So neighbors out here, they are concerned, and they want to make this area safer for everyone that takes this stop.
We found a bullet on our property recently, and I'm starting to hear gunfire more and more frequently over the last, say, 3 or 4 months.
And then a quadruple shooting happened at the Potomac Avenue Metro Station. It's the stop LaTanya Darden uses every day.
I was very shocked to hear about what had happened. Never thought that would happen at this station.
Thursday, neighbors nearby met for a community meeting discussing the shooting and what to do about it.
A lot of folks have told me about their experiences walking their kids to school, being just a few blocks away when it happened, and that scares you. That definitely shakes you. And,
Matt LaFortune is the advisory neighborhood commissioner.
What happened at the Metro Station certainly shocked everyone.
He says neighbors were already working on ways to increase safety around the Metro stop before the shooting that killed a Metro worker and wounded 3 others. Ideas include revamping the plaza, making it a safe passage area for kids going to school, and increasing police visibility.
Since that incident, we have had an open to close detail at the station that has officers around the clock making sure that we have high visibility.
Metro Transit Police Captain Maurice McKinney says the Potomac Avenue station is a priority station, but he admits staffing is a challenge. Right now, McKinney says transit police are ramping up recruiting, and partnering agencies like DC Police are helping with patrols.
Just the visibility, I guess, of more law enforcement, that would make me safer.
Now, police do say that violent crime at this station is actually down over the last 2 years. What they're seeing in this area are some robberies that may happen in some of the streets where it's a little bit darker, there's not a lot of light, so that is something they're working on. But police say, as always, if you see something here, to make sure you call police. Reporting live in Southeast D.C. tonight, I'm Mariel Carbone, D.C. News Now.
And new tonight, car break-ins, thefts, and carjackings are plaguing Prince George's County neighborhoods, and it seems that thieves are getting bolder. All right, Marisa Say covers Prince George's County for us. She spoke to an auto repair shop in Capitol Heights that was recently targeted.
Now, it's not the first time that several cars were broken into at this Capitol Heights auto shop, but it is the first time that the car was stolen off their lot. Now, moments after they found out that the car was missing, an employee had the car stolen from his home. Both vehicles were Hyundais.
He was like, "Where's the Hyundai?" He was like, "Back there." They like, "It's gone."
Surveillance video shows 2 individuals breaking into cars in the back lot of QR Auto Clinics in Capitol Heights. Airbags were also stolen from some cars. Later, the video shows someone breaking into a Hyundai and then driving off. Then some other thieves hit closer to home for one of the shop's employees, Rick Logan.
As we looking for the cars and we talking about it, oh man, I hope that don't happen to me. Hey son, do you have my car at the shop? I was like, no. Well, I guess they stole it.
In this video, you see two people trying to unlock the doors for more than 10 minutes. Once they succeed, they drive off. Logan says it's going to take a while to repair either car if they're returned.
Everything's on back order. I'm number 30 on the list for a cylinder key already. So now I'm going to be, whenever I get my car back, probably 100.
A recent TikTok trend plays a role in the increase in Kias and Hyundais being stolen by just using a USB. Logan says that's because the car keys don't have a chip.
Now, if you have the Hyundai with push start, you're good. If you have the regular one with the regular key with no chip, you're good as gone.
Carjackings are also a problem in Prince George's County. Police say so far this year there have been 63 carjackings, and at the end of 2022, there were 480.
When they broke into my mom's car at the house, she was getting ready to go to the store. So if she would have came out and confronted her, my mom's 77, that could have turned into robbing elderly, home invasion. Something needs to be done quick.
Reporting in Capitol Heights, I'm Yamari Sase, DC News Now.
Marie, thank you. So coming up in a few minutes, DC News Now is looking out for you and your family. Our consumer reporter Ben Dennis shares ways to get ahead of car thieves amid a troubling trend in the DMV.
Meanwhile, hundreds of families reunited with freed political prisoners from Nicaragua at Dulles International Airport. Coming up, we'll show you the remarkable moments as loved ones reconnect, some for the first time in several years. That story in just moments.
And as the death toll passes 20,000 in Syria and Turkey following a crippling earthquake, we're also hearing stories of survival. I talked directly with the teacher who survived the deadly disaster. Hear her harrowing account just ahead.
And we have one more day of temperatures in the 60s before that starts to fade away. And going into the weekend, we're looking much cooler. I'll have a full breakdown coming up.